Everything you hear in this video is alleged and for entertainment purposes only.
Okay, so we have to go deeper. So now it's like, what's the purpose? Why would they fund them exposing this? Now, Isis Wisdom then went live later saying this.
So they put these little propaganda pieces out there because they're looking for a particular type of audience. The audience that they're looking for are those so-called woke individuals. But if you're woke, then you would have had enough discernment not to get caught up in the matrix. What they're wanting to do is for people to talk about this thing, to spread the trailer out there, do as much things as possible.
The movie Sound of Freedom, the people who are behind creating the film Sound of Freedom, and even the people that the film is inspired about are not what you think they are and not who you think they are. Oh yeah, Diddy got a podcast. Alright, so look, before we get into exposing the movie Sound of Freedom and the reason why that film is not what many people believe that it is, despite what you're seeing all over the internet, I want to talk just a little bit about how I got to this point where I'm able to look and point out and notice when something is not as it seems, right? So if you've been following this channel for a while, then you should be familiar that I have a series called More Than a Coincidence, all right? And it's a series essentially that many people will probably call, you know, conspiracy theories, right? It's about the music industry, about entertainment, right? About the food industry, a lot of things about this world, right? And what inspired this series was many years ago, maybe about 4 or 5 years ago, I would say it's probably around the time I started to question a lot of things about this world. A lot of things didn't make sense, and I started to form my own opinions and just look into like certain things that didn't make sense that nobody seemed to talk about. Like, for example, why do, you know, athletes and entertainers make millions of dollars, but, you know, firemen, police officers, nurses, and doctors don't even make a fraction of the money that these people make, but they're the ones that's really, you know, helping people and saving lives, like some, you know, small things like that, right? You quickly realize that, oh, there's a community of people that already think about things like that and question things like that. You just have to find those other people, right? So then you quickly learn about terms like the Illuminati. You hear people say things like the Illuminati run the world and all these different things. And shortly after that, you realize that there's terms called conspiracy theories, right? Conspiracy theories, and you are called conspiracy theorists, which essentially just means like if you question things and it's not something that you can 100% prove, right? And you choose to still believe it, then people like to call you conspiracy theories. You believe in the Illuminati, right? But you can't ever prove that the Illuminati is real, right? So they like to coin terms to kind of discredit the things that you're believing or the things that you're pointing out, right? And so I don't think that's by, I think that's by design. I don't think that's a mistake. All right. So, but when you start to do more research, and again, if you've been following this channel and you've been following the More Than a Coincidence series, then you would know that I don't believe in quote unquote the Illuminati running the world. I pointed out several times on this channel, and I have to point it out a lot more if I can get around to making those videos, that I believe that it's the Freemasons that are running the world. And a lot of people don't like to put their face to it, but I believe that it's the Freemasons. Now people can't tell you that you're a conspiracy theorist because that's a real group that we all know exists, right? We all know that they have a lot of secrets about their group. And I think I've proven many times on this channel already, I could do a much better job in the future, but I've already proven quite a bit that the Freemasons are controlling a lot of things in this world, right? A lot of these, you know, entertainers and, you know, celebrities and things of that sort. All right, boom. Why am I talking about this? Because once you get into those things, then you start to see other terms like controlled opposition, right? And so what's controlled opposition, Didi? Controlled opposition basically means somebody like a J. Cole or Kendrick Lamar, right? J. Cole is my favorite rap artist of all time, right? And J. Cole is my favorite rap artist of all time because I can relate to him, right? He tells a lot of truth in his music, right? I consider him as somebody who's a realist, right? And he doesn't promote the violence, and he's an elite rapper, right? He's an elite artist, and I can appreciate that. But two things can be true at the same time. J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar is the prime and quintessential example of people who are controlled opposition. What do I mean? They appear, a lot of people will consider or point to J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar as, you know, conscious rappers, right? You hear this term of conscious rappers. That means that like they're going to educate you and they're going to inform you and give you the real. But again, two things can be true at the same time. J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar, a lot of people would say, are different from, you know, a rapper like a Lil Durk or NBA Youngboy or even a Drake, right? A 21 Savage, a Future, a Lil Wayne, right? You would, the Snoop Dogg, right? Tupac, Biggie, right? You would hear these people say that they're in their own category, but they're not, right? They're not in their own category. They're all the same and they're all on the same team. What do I mean? Because if you actually listen to J. Cole's music, if you actually listen to Kendrick Lamar's music, they have a lot of records where they're promoting the violence. They have a lot of records where they pretend or they masquerade behind calling rappers out, or like J. Cole even has the album KOD and he talks about the drugs that's in the community and stuff. But when you really pay attention, who are they really exposing, right? Because if they were really for the people, right? Because controlled opposition is almost like that person who, you know, presents themselves as if they're for the people or they have your best interest in mind. But then when you really pay attention close enough to them, they're really just out for themselves and they're serving a different agenda. J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar are no different from the other rappers. Yes, I said it. I'm going to hurt a lot of feelings, but that's the truth, right? And this is coming from somebody who's J. Cole's my favorite artist, so you know I got to be real when I'm saying these things, right? J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar, if they were really for the people and they were really about exposing things and they were really conscious as they say they are, they'll talk more about the music industry and they'll talk more about the record labels who are funding these you know, black artists who are talking about killing each other, who's talking about promoting drugs, right? Because if they really cared, they'll talk exactly about that in their music, but they don't. Instead, they get on there and they talk in a general sense and they pretend like they're calling people out, but they're not. Because if J. Cole was really for the people, he'll call out Jay-Z and all the suspect and questionable things that man has done, from the hand symbols and the signs and, you know, his music and his lyrics and his glorification of the nonsense. But he don't do that. Kendrick Lamar is the same. If you listen to a lot of Kendrick Lamar's music, he has a lot of lyrics where he's I wouldn't say promoting gang culture, but he glorifies it or paints it in a way where it's almost like he's glorifying it, right? He has a lot of foolishness in his music where he's talking about promiscuous behavior as well, right? They just do it in a different way. Why am I talking about these people? The movie Sound of Freedom. All right, so for the last 2 or 3 weeks or so, I've been seeing this movie called Sound of Freedom, and if you haven't heard of it, it's this film that's showing in theaters right now. That's about this agent named Tim Ballard, and he's a former, you know, agent for the U.S. government, where he was a part of this mission where he would go over into Colombia, if I'm, you know, recalling this correctly, and his job was to kind of save children who were being human trafficked, right? Who were being trafficked off into Colombia, you know, for horrible reasons. And this is a great thing that, you know, the government was doing if they were really doing these things, right? So I'm seeing all of these different videos. I even saw Jordan Peterson, of all people. He interviewed these people and he talked about this. And if you pay enough attention, you see that they're saying things like they're trying to suppress this film and they don't want you to see this and they don't want you to know this. First of all, who is they? Because if you pay attention to this film, there's a few things about this film that does not make sense. And it proves, in my opinion, that this film is not serving the purpose that people are claiming that it's supposed to be serving. First red flag about this film, Mel Gibson. All right, so I saw on TikTok or somewhere where Mel Gibson was basically promoting this film, right?
One of the most disturbing problems in our world today is human trafficking, and particularly the trafficking of children. Now, the first step in eradicating this crime is awareness. Go see Sound of Freedom.
And if you know anything about Mel Gibson, many years ago in the early 2000s, Mel Gibson got in trouble for quote unquote exposing the industry and exposing things that he witnessed in Hollywood that didn't make sense. And
you know, I had a whole bunch of weird paranoid suspicions about what the hell was going on because there was a lot of stuff I couldn't understand. And nobody was really bothering to explain it to me. And I formed a bunch of opinions about the town and about the people in it that were like, surely that couldn't be, because a whole place can't be like a weird town, you know, where the stranger wanders in and all the people are in the bar and they all shut up when he looks at them and they tell you don't go to the house on the hill and it's like that.
Right. He even got in trouble for saying some things about the Jewish community. Right. So you know, many people believe that Mel Gibson was really for the people. The first thing I ask is, why would he be promoting this film and he's literally a part of the industry, right? Because, you know, he quote unquote exposed Hollywood in the early 2000s, and then here we are in the 2010s and he's making films again for this same industry. So why would he be a part of a film that's supposed to be exposing the very people who's behind Hollywood? That wouldn't really make sense, especially because this film is literally being shown in theaters, right? Second red flag, he's It turns out that Mel Gibson is really good friends with the producer of this film. What are the chances? So what I would encourage many of you to do, which is what I do, is always ask questions. Is Mel Gibson exposing the industry? And is he more about serving this cause of saving children? Or is Mel Gibson just trying to help out a friend? In my opinion, I would say that he's just trying to help out a friend. Not to mention that Mel Gibson was a part of a film many years ago called Conspiracy Theories, right? And if you notice, do you think it's a coincidence that the film, Sounds of Freedom, and then the film Conspiracy Theories, both are shown in red, white, and black? And you say, well, what's the purpose of that? Well, why do you point that out? Because those are very Masonic colors. Those are very significant colors when it comes to Freemasonry, right? So, but boom, let's get to the next point. Let's talk about Tim Ballard himself, right? And these people have very many connections, by the way, to other elite people like the Clintons, other elite people like the Bush family, other elite people like Bill Gates. And this is not a conspiracy theory, right? This is literally facts.
Tim Ballard, a CIA Freemason, makes a movie financed by Carlos Slim, ties with the Clinton Foundation. So then I had to look up, who the heck is Carlos Slim? This is the richest man in Mexico. Then I'm seeing pictures like this. We got Bill Gates. We got him with Hunter Biden and Joe Biden. And there it is, ties with the Clinton Foundation. It just gets worse for y'all. Look at this.
Even the people who's funded the film are elite people. And you mean to tell me these are the same people that's supposed to be exposing, but it just doesn't make sense, right? First of all, this film is an exaggerated version of the story that Tim Ballard even shared that he was a part of. Because remember, he was an agent for the U.S., and apparently somehow the U.S. abandoned the mission of saving children in Colombia or something like that. So he formed his own operation called Operation Underground Railroad, right? And there's so many things wrong. So the first thing is they want you to believe that this film is being suppressed, right? They're trying to prevent it from being shown in theaters. But if you pay close attention, Tim Ballard has been on Fox News and all these other media platforms giving attention to the film, right? I think the video with Jordan Peterson got like 1 million views. Fox News has, access to millions of people, but the film is being suppressed. Okay, that's the first red flag. You're getting all this media attention for something on these people's platforms. If you're really exposing them, then why are they allowing you to share the film? Second red flag. If Tim Ballard and these people are really about exposing the elites and everything, why didn't they talk about Jeffrey Epstein's island? Why didn't they talk more about him? Third, if they were really about exposing some things, why aren't they saying actual people's names? Why don't they talk about Freemasonry at any point in the film? Because that's important. Because it's not a coincidence a lot of these people are Freemasons, which leads me to my next point. Tim Ballard himself, I believe, and many other people believe, that he's not only CIA, still CIA, but that he's a Freemason himself. Yo, it was literally pointed out that in some photo, Tim Ballard can literally be seen with a tie, where, as you can see here, it's literally the Freemason symbol. I mean, it's literally just right there in your face. And what I've learned is, which is why my series is called this, these things are not just coincidences, right? It's more than just a coincidence. The next red flag. I did some research and I looked to see if this film is supposed to be, maybe donating, if not 100%, at least 50% of its profit to, nonprofits or other organizations that are serving the cause of, helping with human trafficking and things of that sort. And I haven't found not one credible source. I've seen here and there on .coms where they say that they may be donating their money, but I haven't seen anywhere credible that proves that these people are donating the funds from this film to organizations to help serve this cause. So to me, it almost appears as if it's a money grab. Again, so earlier I talked about Freemasonry, and it's here to find out that there's a great chance that the person that this film is inspired by, that being Tim Ballard, the man literally appears to be a Freemason. Not to mention, you got Mel Gibson, who's helping promote the film. It's been proven many times with him that he's just like all these other celebrities with the one-eye symbolism, with the hand gestures and things of that sort. He's a part of the same industry that they're literally supposed to be exposing. These are the biggest problems that I have with this film, and proof, in my opinion, that these people are not exposing anything. Y'all give me y'all thoughts, man. Hop in the comment section and tell me, have you seen this film? Have you been seeing the promotion all over the internet talking about Sounds of Freedom and them playing this reverse psychology as if they're trying to expose something that they're really not trying to expose, bro? Y'all give me y'all thoughts. Hop in the comment section and let me know what you think, man. Till next time. Peace. Oh yeah, Diddy got a podcast.